Good morning, guys, and this is your health coach Rahul. So, today we're going to speak about insulin and why insulin is such an important hormone to focus on when you start your health journey. So, insulin being an hormone, which is basically also known as which triggers growth. So, you can also call it a growth hormone. It has two major roles in human body. One is to help us lower our blood glucose levels in response to elevated blood glucose, which is again a result of eating carbohydrates. And if there is excessive blood glucose, the second major role of insulin is to convert that excessive blood glucose into fat. So, fat storage is also one of the roles that insulin plays. So, majoritarily, any population, if we see around the world globally today, is majorly eating carbohydrates in different forms, and especially the refined flour and the packaged foods that we are all exposed to. And everything basically 80 to 90% of the choices that people end up eating is different kind of carbohydrates, whether it is grains, fruits, um, combination of grains and fruits, and root vegetables. So majoritarily what we are eating today is carbs in different forms, complex carbs, simple carbs, and also dairy, which is again pasteurized. That's another topic to talk about. But the lactose or galactose that comes through dairy is also something that is going to trigger insulin. So pancreas is the organ that produces insulin in our body in response to the elevated blood glucose. And as we all know, all types of carbs, except the fructose, um, is converted into blood glucose. So the roti that you have, the bread that you have, the root vegetables that you eat, even the fruits, 50% where it's going to come in as glucose is going to be converted or pushed into your blood as blood glucose. Um, Grains, that's rice, wheat, quinoa, barley, you name it. Even the dals and the lentils and the legumes, they all have carbohydrates. And these carbs, even the sugar, what we talk about, normally diabetics assume that when a doctor says reduce your sugar, they are only given half information, or I would say even just a percentage or a part of information about what sugar actually is for your body. And that's where the confusion is for diabetics or people who are detected with pre-diabetes. When the doctor asks you to reduce your sugar, people only focus on reducing the white sugar that normally is recognized as raising your blood glucose. But nutritionally, if we think what happens to the foods that we eat and how it gets converted and what ultimately happens, then under the umbrella of sugar, there are a lot more foods that we consume will come and will be categorized as sugar. Wheat is sugar for the body, 100%. Rice is sugar for the body. All grains, bajra, jawar, millets, nachni, root vegetables, fruits, honey, jaggery, coconut sugar, beetroot sugar, the dry fruits, everything gets converted to blood glucose. So all these things come under the umbrella of sugar, and they are going to increase your blood sugar. That's why people do not understand why they are not able to control their diabetes when they think they're doing everything to manage, control, or heal from diabetes. So, if you are a diabetic or an obese person who thinks he doesn't have diabetes, In reality, all obese people are diabetic. People who have got a big paunch are diabetic. People who have got dark skin on the neck are diabetic. People who get skin tags are diabetic. There is nothing called as pre-diabetes. You're either diabetic or you're not diabetic. If you're obese, if you have been consistently your body weight is increasing, that means your metabolism has slowed down and you are a diabetic. It's very important that every person today understand what sugar is and what foods are coming under the umbrella of sugar. So, especially even the health drinks that you end up having, the protein drinks that the doctors are prescribing, or what is available in the market. You got to understand and start reading the ingredients in everything that you're consuming, whether it's called a protein drink or a health drink, and you have to consider what is total carbohydrates in the ingredient list on the packaged food, the drinks that you eat, drink, and also add the sugar percentage in that, the added sugars. Together will be the entire amount of sugar that you will be consuming. So, for example, pediatric drinks, they have total sugars of more than 50%. So, every 100 grams or 20 grams or 30 grams, 50% of whatever you're consuming through the pediatric drinks to your kids, or the protein drinks that you're having, or the boost or the bone vita that you're having, which is having more than 50% of it as combination of total carbohydrates and added sugars, is nothing but sugar for your body. And that's where we all are being fooled into believing that you're having something healthy. So, as a diabetic, as an obese person, all you got to do is eat real food. Another thing that you got to change in your lifestyle is change the oil that you use and shift to completely using uh, ghee or coconut oil. So we have to understand that if we all are able to, coming back to insulin, if we all are able to keep our insulin secretion to minimum, then the healing begins. So, what are the things that are important to keep insulin down? First is to understand what raises insulin. First is to recognize the foods that are coming under the umbrella of sugar. So, minimizing these foods or eliminating at times these foods is important. Eliminating grains is important. Eliminating fruits is important. Eliminating honey, jaggery, white sugar is important. So, depending on your um, progression of your personal disease, depending on how severely you're hit with insulin resistance, it will be important for you to minimize or completely eliminate something called as carbohydrates, or all the foods that come under the umbrella of sugar. Also, it's important that you increase your fasting periods between your meals. So minimum gap of 5 hours is important to basically reduce the insulin secretion and increase the opposite hormone of insulin, that is glucagon. We have to help glucagon go up, which is going to trigger something called gluconeogenesis, help you release the stored glycogen in your liver and your muscles, and then also start the process of burning fat in a longer and prolonged fasted state, where glucagon is up and is helping your body burn the stored fat. So this is another way of fasting, is another way of reducing insulin and increasing glucagon. Exercising in fasted state is also something which is important as far as burning that stored glycogen, burning stored fat is cons- uh, uh, concerned, increasing glucagon and helping your body reduce insulin. So minimizing carbohydrates or eliminating, that's number one thing. Second thing is increasing your fasting periods between your meals, and also including intermittent fasting or prolonged fast in your daily life. Third is exercising in your fasted state. Fourth is managing your stress, meditation, and recognizing what are the stressors and eliminating them. And number five would be also to increase activities which are going to trigger and put you into a parasympathetic nervous system um, state of body. So sleeping on time, sleep is very important for reducing your insulin in your body, increasing your insulin sensitivity, um, breathing exercises. So that's also important. So consider all these things and reduce your insulin and keep it low and heal yourself. This is the message. So this is your health coach, functional medicine practitioner Rahul Patil. You can always contact me to heal yourself on my Instagram page, that is rahulpatil.mygenetic, or you can email me on mygeneticnutrition@gmail.com, or you can also go on my website, that is mygenetic, that is migenetic.com. Cheers, have a nice day, and have a beautiful 2025. Heal yourself, keep the insulin low as much as possible, eliminate carbohydrates, and focus on eating real food, that is fat and protein, mainly coming from animal sourced fat and protein. Cheers.